This may be kind of difficult to see, but I'm making a sleigh to put behind my reindeer. That right there is the template that I made to go down here in this artwork. It's not perfect, but it's my first attempt, I think, at making templates like that freehand and then cutting them. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut this sleigh out and then make another one. So here I go. The next thing I did is I went ahead and cut holes with a bit so that I can actually cut the detail from the scrolled areas or from the areas that are up underneath the sleigh. So we'll see how that turns out in a bit. And we're back. And there's the sled all cut, scrolled. I did not have to use anything but the jigsaw. No hand saws, no no small saws to cut the details out. Everything was done with the jigsaw. So I got this nifty router template bit that I'm going to use, I hope, to route around the sleigh that I just made, and hopefully it'll work. I might have to do some detail work, but we'll see. If not, I'll just trace it and cut it like I was going to do anyway. Awesome. The router looks like it's working, so I'll definitely use it some and see how far I can get with it and see what I can actually, or how intricately I can cut. I'm not certain I want to be able to get all that over there, but it's definitely going faster than the jigsaw is, so I'll certainly give it a whirl. Man, what a mess. The template bit is working out really well, though. As you can see, I've used it to scroll or to cut the scroll that's right there really well. The bigger areas worked out great. There's still a little detail that I've got to cut out, but that'll be easy. Like right there, I wasn't able to use the bit, but that is a pretty good bit, pretty cool process, and I think I'll use it more. And there it is, a little routing and a little jigsawing, and I got the second sled done. Now I'm going to make two more, so I'm going to try to repeat basically this for another sled. It just amazes me how much sawdust is created by making these sleds, and any project for that matter, but it really brings to home how you should always use good breathing protection. And just remember, when you're making sawdust, you really need to use a good respirator and eye protection and hearing protection too. So the fourth sleigh side cutting along real nicely, and then all of a sudden the bearing on the bit decided to crater. So I guess I'll have to either find a replacement bearing or get the whole bit, which was around $20. Well, that's a bummer. Well, I guess we'll go back to the old jigsaw. So now that I have both sides of the sleigh done, I need to put them together. As you can see, I have a piece of wood that holds them together like that, but that kind of looks kind of ugly sticking out. And so what I decided to do is make a little piece so that I can slide it in and hook that piece that's hooked over the sleigh side right down in there. And it'll be inside and really won't be able to be seen as much. So that's what I'm going to do, I guess. So I've got my braces made to hold the two sides of the sleigh together. On the ends, I've made these little U-shaped pieces so that I can take and basically slip that part into it. If you notice, it goes in. It's kind of hard to do with one hand and shoot at the same time. But anyway, it'll go in there. And there's less distance here than the actual width of the wood, I'm going to go ahead and put some wood behind here so that it'll stick out further, and I'll have basically a little slot just to drop it in there. The piece of wood will basically be something like this, and as you can see, it sticks out a little bit, like so. Anyway, let me go ahead and do that. Here I've stapled some spacers, and I'm going to go ahead and put that C-clamp in there too. I'm going to go ahead and staple the other. And then I'm going to go ahead and staple this on top of it too. Of course, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. There, that ought to work real good. First time I used the staple gun too. As you can see, I've put both sled halves together so that I can go ahead and figure out where this other one is going to go. I'm also going to take and put this one in here and put another one here also. So basically it'll go like this. I'll have some spacers below it. The same thing here with some spacers. And I'm also going to put some up here so that I can hold it from the top. Anyway, let's do it. So there we go. That's how it's done. Actually worked out pretty good considering. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the ones up here. Now, I kind of wondered, how am I going to do that? I certainly don't want to put them over, like that, which was what I was trying to avoid. But how do I get them to where they're level and they're straight? And so this is what I came up with. Took a piece of wood and went straight up with it, and I pretty much can tell that it is straight right there. I guess I could use a level or something. Obviously it's standing up. And then I'll go ahead and put this one up where it's at. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and mark it right there. And then on the other side, the same thing. Just mark it too. So I'll know not to go any higher than right there for these two pieces. Let's see how it turns out. To the rescue. Nice and fit, or nice and tight, or not nice and tight, or not too tight. And there it is. The back one's installed now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a floor, a seat, and a shelf on this sleigh, sled, whatever you want to call it. So what I did is I took and I cut some pieces 10 by 19 inches. That's 3/4 inch plywood. I made the whole thing out of 3/4 inch pretty much. And also cut some 10 inch by 1 inch pieces that I can use like this. So basically, if you cut that, you can kind of position it. I pretty much just went on top of the rails here and made that my point and just went across kind of from the middle basically. I threw a level on there to make sure it was level, and away we go. And I'll show you some more as I get the the seat made and the shelf. So here I've gone ahead and put the top shelf and the back of the seat together, and I used a piece of wood in here to hold the two, and that wood is actually 16 3/8. It comes out about 1.5 inches from each end, so it'll fit up on top where the two braces are that hold that center support. So I went ahead and took the two pieces and went ahead and stapled them, and I guess I need to finish stapling these two right now. And one down here for good measure. Oh, one more. I split some of those 10-inch by 1-inch pieces that I had in half so that I can put a piece there on the back of the seat and a piece there on the shelf. You know, I took this thing off because it was kind of wobbly. It didn't feel right to me. It wasn't tight. And then on top of that, I actually didn't nail into this support board that I had made anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some screws in that spot right there, that spot right there, and that spot right there, and tighten it down because I'm going to want to take this apart later on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the screws in and then take it apart and then take those staples out that I put in there so that I can just screw it back together again and I can put it up. So anyway, here goes. One really important thing is eye protection. I forgot to put my eye protection on, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it on and keep drilling. There it is. I really like that. A lot tighter, and it'll be able to be taken apart and put up until the next season. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the seat up in here. It's going to go flush like that. I'm going to take one of these 10-inch pieces that we cut earlier, and I'm going to place it right in there, shoot a nail in the back, and then use my level to level it off. So let's do that right now. Of course, I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Not sure if you guys can see this too well. Now our seat can go right in there like that. And I left it on purpose to where I can take and put a piece down here and come back down. Since this one's going to be our floor, there'll be a little piece on our floor that'll basically butt up against there, and that'll do it. Oh look, what do we have here? That's almost perfect. And there it is. The shelf, the seat, and the floorboard. Now all I got to do is put this piece up, and it is tight. Sometimes you have to, or I have to take and just kind of tap it down. But after all, that's what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to be tight to where it doesn't fall apart. You can pick it up and move it, put it in different places. Now the next thing I have to do is paint it, and I'll show you the after product of the paint job. It's going to go really, really bright red, and well, you'll see it. And here it is, folks, the finished product. The sleigh. So from back, from the front, from all the way around. I still need to maybe do a little touch up to some spots like this, but pretty much this baby is ready to fly or get pulled or whatever. Anyway, I do definitely have to say it's been fun making it. I'll try, if anybody's interested, I'll come up with some measurements and stuff for it other than the ones that I've said in the video. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask me or let me know. In any case, we're done, and thank you for watching.